Hello Sagittarius, I am Ulrich, I'm a Lenormand card reader, and today we will do the Lenormand card reading for the month of September 2021 for the sign of Sagittarius. On the table here you see 9 cards, meaning we will do the 9 card portrait. You will see also 4 objects here on the table, meaning we will do 4 card readings for the sign of Sagittarius for the month of September. Now, from these 4 objects here, you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. This object of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current situation. If the object and the related video does not match your first choice, check the other videos that follow here. I'm sure one of the 4 videos will match your sign. However, the matches here represent the fire element, the stone represents the earth element, the aerosol sprayer represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. So Sagittarius, here we go for your card reading for September 2021. Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to the shell or water group for your card reading for Lenormand card reading for September 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that starting 27th of September, Mercury is starting to go retrograde, meaning it's not a good time for signing contracts, agreements, anything you need to put your name on an official document. It's not a good thing. It's not a wise thing to do so. Mostly during these periods, things tend to go wrong. For instance, later on, you want to get out of the contract, you cannot anymore. Also, it's not advisable to buy electronics, for instance, cell phones or housekeeping equipment like laundry machines or microwaves. Why? Because those are connected to warranties and something might pop up that is wrong with the warranty and the contract connected to it. So the general idea here is not to sign contracts during that period. You will also see if you take the train is delayed, the bus is delayed. If you go somewhere, the flight is canceled, it's delayed. If you receive packages, the packages are wrong delivered, the packages don't arrive, your mail don't arrive. These are all things that are having to do with Mercury going retrograde. Now, for some reason, if you would be obligated or you have no choice than signing a contract, double check, triple check the fine print, because you might later regret that you signed the contract. So Sagittarius, here we go for your card reading. The first card you see here, that's your personal card, is the bouquet. This is a very harmonious card. It means that in general, the general idea of your person now, everything goes smooth, everything goes very well. There's also some kind of protection. There's a form of renewal over you in this period of time. So we go in more details now. The bouquet and the bear. It means like there's a lot of contacts here in your social circle. It might be that your social circle is quite influential, and maybe there's a lot of high-placed people around you, but because this card can represent your direct manager in your work, and this could be your higher boss, meaning the authority, the one who makes the higher decisions. So it's possible that you are in a very good condition with these people and that you are in a way in line with them. So even though here, it means also there are a lot of possibilities here. If you play it in a charming way, this is a good composition actually for improving yourself. There will be a harmonious sphere with the people above you. If you receive some advice of your manager or even the high authority, this advice will be good meant to you. They are willing to support you. They are willing to help you. Your boss and even the higher authorities are willing to help you. Also, it's possible that there's a nice sphere, a nice environment. There's like a charm. There's a charm here. It's also possible that your boss is a woman, because we have the bear here. So it's possible that the woman is quite charming for helping you. Also, this points to very good financial situation, even on the long run, because the tower is on the long run. And it's possible also that these people will help you over again, that in the future they will still help you, because sometimes the tower comes back. So this is possible also with this combination on the long run. It's also possible in another way that your manager or your boss is quite handsome. She's quite pretty. If this is a man, this could be a handsome man. Here also it's said to you that it's important to invest in this relationship. You need to see it as an investment, as a strong investment on the long run. Also, you need to make good impressions here on them. This is important also now for you. You need to see that but you will able to, that things stick together on the working front and on the managing front here, because this card, it makes you able to stick things together. It's a little bit like a glue. It works like a glue. It works charming. It creates a good sphere and a good combination here. Also, it will be easy for you to flatter them, to get them on your hand, as to say. You will have also, you will have a certain charming influence on your boss, and your boss will share this information to the higher people, to the people in charge. So this is a very good combination here that we have. Then we have the tower and the bear in itself. It's possible in a way, but this is always the case, that the higher people, the people in charge, they are a little bit distant. This can also point, maybe your work is related to a law office. This could mean a law office. And also possible on the long run, it's that people check you out on the long run. There's an expertise, because the tower is an expert. It's like these people check you out for promoting you. So you need to take care. It can be a very important period for you for those things to come. So you need to see that you're in good condition there with these people. If you have some taxes to pay in another way, if there's some taxes hanging you on the previous year, you will have a lot of allowance. You will have a lot of allowance if you are for some reason would not be able to pay it immediately because it's a big amount. They will give you a lot of tolerance here. There's a lot of tolerance here. It's possible also that these people are related to banking. They are related to banking because the bear sometimes represents money and banking. And this is then the head office in another place that we see here. But it can also be a court. These are really high placed people. This is top of the food chain. It's possible also in the near future that you would be offered a leading position. If you play it charming now, you could be offered a leading position soon. These people also that are close to you might be financially very good settled already. So this is possible here also. It's possible also here that you interact with them, but you also feel that you need to put up some boundaries towards them, or they put some boundaries up to where, but everything is happening here in a very good condition, in a very good sphere, or it's possible to do so because the cards are possibilities here. It's possible also you yourself, you have a strong wish to improve yourself, to go higher in your job. You wish to be part of this group of people, the elite. Here, so also this combination says if you go higher up, it's a normal process, that there could be more loneliness in this position, that you are more alone in the job. Sometimes it comes with the territory. These people in general, if all works well out here, that's the last that I want to add here. It's possible that they will take care of you and they see your objectives and where you want to go. Then the next line here, we have the storks and the birds. As you notice, these are two cards that are related to birds. So it means there's a lot of going on. Two birds next to each other, it can cause a lot of movement, a lot of things going on. It can also cause more stress because the birds are active, although the stork is a little bit less active because it's a big bird. But anyway, there are two birds here, so it means there's a lot of activity, and this activity is connected to the public. So it's possible there's a lot of communications here, a lot of things that are coming to you, a lot of things that are able to change for you. So I think here, because the stork is the bird of change, there's a change going on for you on the longer run, because the tower is on the longer run. And here I'm going a little bit ahead on things. Here we see the sit. The sit is an ending or a new beginning, but I'm assuming in this laying, this presents a new beginning. So something is hanging here for you that you can have like a new beginning. There's a transformation because the bird is, the stork is a bird of transformation. There's a transformation going on here for bringing you in a different position. The stork is a bird, is a slower bird because it's a migrating bird. He moves from Europe to Africa, for instance. He go overwintering in warmer area. He never stays in the cold. So it's possible because he migrates that there is a migrating process for you going on. Even maybe there's a move included because sometimes the stork includes a move also. So there's a lot of changes going on, and these changes could be a slow process that you're moving up. The stork is like a process of 3 months because the moving takes about 3 months, and the stork here is also a slow card. But once everything is settled and everything is its place, the sit is a fast card. So it's possible if everything is in order, things are going very fast. Suddenly it happens. So then we go in the details here. You might have also, maybe this territory is new or unfamiliar for you, where you're going in this group of people and you're a little bit worried where all these changes might bring you. Also your communication, the way you speak to people or the way you communicate with people, if there's a change in there. Maybe because you need to speak more in public, you adjust the way that you are talking here. It's like there's a new way of communicating with people here. Also, others that are around you, people who are around you will notice that there are some changes in your personality, and possibly they will tell you these changes changed you in a positive way, because we have the flowers here. And the change could go quite suddenly if everything is settled, as I said earlier. The worries here, sometimes things could be here because we have the birds here. Sometimes things can be tend to be a little bit chaotic here also because it's 2 times birds here. There are many changes are going to happen at the same time. And here these changes could be connected to groups, to certain groups where you function in. Probably possible connected to your public life, maybe even to a court or to a higher position. So there's a lot of communication. It's possible also that you become some form of communicator. The bear sometimes can represent a teacher, and then this would represent the university. So if you are in that area, this is possible also because this is higher positions in our life, higher courts, universities, things like that. This is a possibility here I just mentioned, but there's a lot of possibilities in the card. I just mentioned them. It's also possible here that there are some changes for you as a person, but these changes are difficult for others around you. It causes some kind of instability for other peoples around you. They are a little bit confused about it because there are many changes at the same time here. Also, you might have doubts that these changes are good for you, but actually they are, because you have the tower here and the garden. So these changes are good. You should not doubt them, but of course the decision is yours. These are only possibilities. The cards tell you possibilities. The cards don't put you in a certain structure. You are the one who decides. Then the last, we have here the stork and the garden itself. This is public transformation, as I said. Also, we notice now there are general changes in the society. This is meaning, these two cards means that the whole society around us is changing because we are confronted with the viruses. So this means that you are a part of these whole changes that are going on here in public. The way we communicate, or you also, is changing. We are changing the way we communicate. It's possible also that you are involved here in some form of publicity. You publish something, maybe it's related to here, to the university, to the school, to the court. It's possible also that you are in a form of communication here. You reorient yourself in a certain part of society. You are probably part of some cultural events here. This is possible also. A specific group, a defined group is mentioned here. Of course, here in the end, everybody will know where you are. I think you will become more like a public. This group is like these people go more in the public area. This is public area, this one. Also, you probably will change your own position, the way you look, the way you communicate because of the public. This is possible also. Then we go in the third line here. We have the clouds, the anchor and the sit. Here also these cards on the first impression, it means that you're doubting that this would bring you stability, but actually it will. But it's possible that you cannot see it clear what is coming, because the clouds tend to cloud our ideas. But the anchor here is very stable. It's a stable change. The bear is a slow card, the stork is the bird of change, and the anchor is a slow card. These cards move slow. The bear is a big animal, he moves slow. The anchor is heavy, so it moves slow. And you have the tower here. Also, the tower is a thing that is, it's authority, it's governments, it's not moving at all sometimes. And if it moves, it's very slow. So you see, this is a more slower process of change, and also the changes are very solid because we have the anchor here, we have the bear. This means expansion. There's an expansion here possible. But anyway, it's possible that you still have doubts about it in your mind, that this is going to work out well for you. Or it's possible now, for the moment, still for the moment, you feel a little bit unstable in some areas of your life. This is possible also. Maybe for the moment now, the environment where you are is not working out for you, and you're thinking about these changes to come, and they would be positive for you. This is a possibility here to give you a strong foothold. If there's a possibility here hanging, you're thinking about it, and this foothold could suddenly come true. So this is possible here also. There could be some misunderstanding. Sometimes then we have the anchor and the sit on itself. Here we see that we end something, or we initiate something. I already mentioned this. Here sometimes with this combination, we need to see if we improve ourselves, that we don't cut off certain ties that are actually could make us more stable. It's just like you need to be careful for that. You will understand what it means, what I'm saying to you here. But here, this tells you if you have been stagnant for a while, this will change. You will improve now. And if you, this tells you also that you need to change. You need to improve yourself, becoming more stable if you have the abilities, or the possibilities are offered to you. Then we come in the vertical lines. We have the flowers, the tower, and the towers, and the clouds. here sometimes the clouds could be giving sometimes a little bit negative thinking. But since you have the flowers here, the bouquet will break the spell of the negative thoughts. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be stressed with all these changes. Probably you will be, but in a way, there's a gluing effect. So if there are a lot of changes, the bouquet here, it's like a glue. It will stick things together. So it will not be so, the changes will stick together. That's what my point is here. It's possible also you receive some invitations here, phone calls, people who contact you. Here also it's possible that you get an invitation from a woman, because this is a woman. If you are a man, a woman, it's impossible you get an invitation of a man here, but because we interpret this in a neutral way. This is possible here also. The conversations that are going on with these people are pleasant. You feel happy. In a way also, this is a possibility for a relationship that is going on here, if you would be in that area. But here there's a lot of communication through certain media channels online. Here we see here, you know, I don't need to explain them here. There's a lot of social media going on here. There's a lot of chat going on in the social circles. It's possible also that you get an invitation, and this invitation in a way makes you a little bit worried, maybe because you need to appear or you need to change your appearance in a certain way. So it could make you a little bit worried about it. But in general, I think it will be more like here, like small talk. So you don't need to be too nervous, but it's possible if you are invited there at the party itself, it's quite noisy. You cannot think clear there if you are invited in a party or somewhere there's maybe a lot of people there. Then we have the birds and the clouds on itself. It's possible that not all the facts are clear. We saw that earlier, and that causes you restless. Also, you want to know all the facts. Maybe there are some things that are unclear to you for now, and this could also point to your restlessness here. There's possible also here that some people gossip a little bit about you, but you have the flowers here, so it all will not be so dramatic here. It's possible also here, if you are going in the public, Sagittarius can be sometimes very forward in the communication. So if you have some knowledge about certain things, be careful you don't bring them in public before it's time. So keep your tongue a little bit quiet here. If you know certain things, keep them to yourself, so you don't expose certain things that is not yet the time here for being exposed. This is just also what is here in the cards. I'm just reading what is here in the card. So you need to be a little bit careful of that one also. It's possible also, even if you feel stress, that you are able to hide it, because here this card makes us able to hide it. Then we have the second vertical line. We have the bear and the stork. The bear is big, the stork is changes. So this means these two cards mean big changes. So a lot of is changing for you. This could mean financially. This could literally mean in your job that you expand your territory, you expand. This is possible also. There's a form of leadership maybe that is offered to you, and it will transform those around you and yourself. If you are a woman here, what is possible here also, that is now that you are pregnant at the moment. This is possible here also with this combination, but it's just one of the possibilities here. If you're not pregnant, then it relates to the pregnancy. You are pregnant of changes. So this is what it's not necessarily physical changes. It's the pregnancy in your mind. Things are about to change for you. But a physical pregnancy is possible here also. This means possibly also that you, I already mentioned it, there's a lot of changes, but this points also sometimes to alpha types of people, people who are put in charge. So it's possible you can come in a higher position here, that here this is offered to you. It's possible also, this is like a teacher, a person, this is the bird of change, and it's a person that has the ability to change others and to make others more stable. So this is possible here also with this combination. This is like, it's meant to be in a way that it's predisposed, maybe that is the better word, it's predisposed to become a leader, a teacher, like that. There's some form of teaching here connected. The bear is the teacher, and the anchor is stability. So you get the point here. Also, if people try to destabilize you, you will not move, because the bear is territorial and the anchor is fixed. If people try to destabilize you, you will not. You will stay put. Even the stork stands on one leg. Sometimes you will anchor yourself. Maybe you feel unstable, but you will put your foot down, your one foot, and you will stay put. Anyway, that are the possibilities here that you have. In a way, also, it's possible that some changes here in your life, that some changes in your life are not totally unfamiliar. Meaning, maybe before in your life, you have been in a teaching position, or you have educated others, because the stork returns and the tower returns also. So it's possible here that some of these changes are not totally unfamiliar. It's like, in a way, you have been there before with certain changes here. It's not totally unfamiliar. And that could be the case why even you're standing for now on one leg with these changes. It makes you more confident, because the bear is very confident. Stand on this it here. Then we come to the stork and the anchor on itself. There's a strong focus here on stability, changes, holding on. This is what we see here. Stable beginnings here. Also, there's a possibility here, because the bear is a territorial animal and the bird is changes. So it's possible here, since the bird is changes, that you are planning to move in another location. You change the territory. You understand here with the bear, is a territorial animal. The stork is changing that. So it's possible that you are changing the location where you are about to live. You put your foothold somewhere else. This is also possible with this combination. But this will all go slowly. This is not going to be like a snap. It's going to go all a little bit slower. I'm not saying this is going to happen immediately this month, but this is what hanging here, because we have a lot of slower cards here. Maybe also in a way, after these changes are all settled down, you will be happy that all these changes are behind you. It's possible also that you rented a place before and that you're longing finally for a stable residence, a place where you can actually stay. Maybe you moved a lot around before. Sometimes Sagittarius tends to move around a lot. He wants to have a lot of experience in life. He wants to see many things. He wants to see many beaches. He wants to see many countries. If not, he's interested in many books. But here we see that you're longing here for putting yourself down, for becoming more stable. You long like for the end of the journey here, for putting up permanent residence here, and there's a very strong focus here. You're really gonna land somewhere. It could be literally physically, but there's a strong need here for stability. Also, maybe you yourself, even though you moved around a lot in your life, actually deep in yourself, We all need stability also for you, for yourself. Maybe you realize here that now you have a big need for stability. If not the case, if you still want to move around, you will feel a sense of groundness within yourself. This is possible here also. Then here, there's a changing, the changes in the job become permanent. There's a permanent change here going on, and this change leads to stability. Then we come in the tower, the garden, and the sit. The tower is on the long run. The tower is a slow card. It's about organizations. It could be apartments. If there is a move, this is a possibility. Also, you choose to live in an apartment where there's a lot of people going on. This can mean like an apartment also. If you move and you choose to move, maybe you choose to move to an apartment. Since the tower is up, it's possible that you are in the higher area of the building. Maybe even you're in the penthouse, because this is the higher places of the building. Since we have the bear here also, I'm assuming that your place where you are planning to go or where you will go will be quite nice, also because we have the flowers here. The flowers tend to make a nice interior. It will be quite spacey because the bear is a big animal, and it's possible that it's an apartment or a community with a lot of houses, but the tower presents height. It will be quite a busy area because we have the garden here. The garden represents public, like market. So it's possible that this is a central area, literally close to the tower. Then what we see here more, this stork, the tower and the garden. There's also could be some politics involved here. You might come in some form of authority over the public, you yourself, or you have to do with the public, because this means authorities, offices. There's a lot of traffic going on here. Maybe you live close to the airport or close to the train station or the bus station. There's a lot of public going on here. Also, it's possible that you join high society groups that only are for certain groups, where only certain people are allowed, or you join a certain group, a selective group, if you would be in a different path of your life. But this poses to selective groups here. Also possible, sometimes you want to push your own ideas through. You don't want to go along with what the group says. You have your own form of authority. You have your own position, and you possibly have a lot of authority to come once you are past here, this transformation, once you are approved. If you're not yet in the position, this also gives you a lot of possibilities to go in networking to reach your position. That is the other side then. There's also a lot of culture here going on. Maybe you traveled a lot. This group traveled a lot. Sagittarius travels a lot. This is possible also. Knows a lot. Reading, some of the Sagittarius reads sometimes also a lot. It's possible also that in the future you become in charge of what is posted to the public, what is put in public. There's some publishing here going on also. But you yourself, it's possible that even you publish, you take your distance from the public. Maybe it's required for the job. Then we have the garden and the sit in itself. There's a lot of there's discussions here with certain groups, maybe political related. Some things you will reject. Maybe they don't follow your principles or your ideas. It's possible also that you come in contact with people that are groups of people who are quite harsh. This is possible here also with this possibility. These people also have some power, but there's some harshness here also. Not you, but these groups, I mean. But you will be efficient here. Your work will be efficient. It's possible also that if you post something in public, that the public reacts a little bit hurtful. They react hurt. But the efficiency of the network is there. If not so, you will present yourself as efficient. You will end something. You will make your public opinion here. Then we have the bouquet and the stork and sit. Again, here we have the transformation of the social life. We already done that. I just see if some other things here we didn't mention yet, because the cards always relate to the self. Also, there's on your body. I want to mention that also. Maybe you choose to work out more, because this could literally mean body changes. So it's possible that you follow more a healthy structure, you work more out, you put, because the sit is energy, so you put a lot of more energy in your body for your public appearance. This is what we hear here also, we see here also. It's like you want to transform your body for being more presentable. Maybe it's important for you that you are presentable, or you think that you need to be more presentative. You will make several tries. You will here there's a lot of movement. These are the birds of movement, so you have the possibility here to move, to exercise a lot. If you do change, it's possible also that people compliment you about your body changes. And also the changes will bring you enjoyment. Then we have the stork and the sit on itself. As I said, there's a sudden transformation here. There's a longing for improving yourself. As I said here, it's possible there's a painful experience here related to the public. If you had some injury before in your life, some part of your body that get hurt, like for instance, I'm just giving an example here, it's just a general example, it's not specifically to this group, but for instance, Sagittarius is known to have weak hips. So it's possible if you before, as a youngling, you had difficulties with your hips, the health possibility, the health problems that you had before, they are coming back to you. Maybe it's even a little bit painful. It's possible that you have things coming back to you you had before. It's not going to be dramatic, but it's possible that this comes back to you. Also, if you do the efforts, you will reap what you sow. Here, this is also possible here if you focus. You're here literally on the threshold for take important stocks. If some things on out of your past were not clear, also you will settle old debts. You will get rid of some things out of your past. You will get rid of the past, and you will pass the threshold to start something new. Then we have the tower, the stork, and the clouds. Here, this is you changing authority, or the authority is changing you. So this is possible here. You become more established. Everything will be made official. There will be a lot of documents because the tower makes documents public. So there's a lot of public documents here. If you would consider a move to another place, because this is the bird of migration and this is crossing borders, it's possible when you arrive there in that place, there's the country is changing just at that time. They're changing government. There's a lot of, this is the public and these are the changes. So there's a lot of public changes going on there. If you move there, suddenly maybe there were elections and some important figure, high-placed figure, he becomes in charge, like the politics change there. There's some form of retreats here. You will need to overthink the situation. Then we have the storks and the clouds itself. Also there, if you come there, it's possible that this could mean weather changes. It's possible there that when you arrive there, there's some difficult weathers. It depends where we are. In some countries, it's heavy snowfall. In other countries, it can be storms that we are confronted with, heavy rains, because I see the water card here. So it's possible that you are confronted. Maybe it's the monsoon season when you arrive there, or there's a lot of storms going on there. This is what we see here also. This is a possibility here. So I think for the Sagittarius, for the water group, this is all for now. So Sagittarius, I hope you enjoyed this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for doing so. If this reading don't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 readings that are following here also in the video. Anyway, thank you for watching, and see you maybe next time. Bye-bye for now. Thank you. Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to the Aerosol or the Air Group for your card reading for September 2021. Before we start, I want to mention, as I do in all groups, that Mercury is starting to go retrograde starting 27th of September. So this is not a good time to sign contracts, agreements, everything you need to put your name on official documents, loans. This is not a good time for doing so. You will also see that during that time, there are more traffic jams. Traffic is delayed, your train is late, your bus is late, flights are canceled, flights are delayed. Packages that you need to arrive don't come on time, they are delivered in the wrong place, or they don't arrive at all. These are all things that are happening when Mercury is running retrograde. It's because our collective mind, the mind of all people, is working a little bit slower. But the most general idea is that you don't sign a contract. Also, it's not a good idea to buy new equipment like cell phones, even housekeeping equipment like a laundry machine or a microwave or whatever. It's best not to do so, because these devices then are there connected to the warranties, and sometimes something goes wrong with the warranties. So anyway, the general idea is not to sign these contracts at all. If, however, for some reason you are obligated to do so, or you have no choice, double check, triple check the fine print, because it's possible afterwards you change your mind, or the people change their mind, there's something going wrong with the contract. So in general, it's better not to do so. So Sagittarius, now we go on with your reading itself. The first card here represents you. This is the bear. So it's possible here, the bear represents a manager. It represents a teacher. It's a teacher. It's a animal that expands, or a person that expands others' life. The teacher, for instance, he expands others' life because he brings them knowledge so they can evolve themselves. So the bear is always expanding things around him. It's also possible that you physically expand, that you gain weight. Especially we have the anchor here. The anchor makes us more stable, so it makes us gain weight. Maybe because we are enjoying life a little bit, because the ship makes us enjoy life, the beautiful things of life, the nice things of life. It could be connected because you travel and you eat a lot during a journey. This is possible also, but this is the general idea. Now we go into more details with the cards itself, but these 2 cards already I want to mention here. This points to a journey. The anchor is a beach, and the ship is traveling, so you can make the connection here yourself. This is literally that you travel to another place, or you look for a foothold abroad. The bear is territorial, so it's possible that this is a bigger space. It's a place where you want to stay for a while. The bear is a territorial animal. So anyway, we go to the bear and the anchor on itself now. It's possible also in your area of life that you are in charge there, that you pose, that you are an important figure there. Also, you receive a lot of professional support in your life. There's a strong focus on a certain area of your life. In a way, this also could mean that you bring others. If you are in traveling, it's possible that you bring others somewhere because the ship is traveling. Anyway, the ship is also that we have a strong longing for something. It makes us adventurous. These two cards are also money cards. So it has to do with stability, getting more stable, getting foothold on the ground, getting foothold sometimes in abroad. So these are all very stable cards. This could also point to long-term investments that you make. It can point to more savings that you make, nest eggs, as we say. This is also a person who works hard, stable. It's possible also that in your department or in your area, you are the one in charge, because sometimes in some cases, the bear is the one in charge. Also, sometimes we are obligated to control some things. We are the one in control, or we need to control things around you, and the influence you have on the people around you is stable. There's a very strong focus on certain points on your life. You have a certain vision that you want to do. If this represents your parenthood, you're very stable for your children. You're very focused on the children. You want to make them stable in your life, and you want to make them stable. Probably knowledge that they want to gain, or you want them to gain a lot of knowledge for becoming more stable. In another way, if you're still single, this could mean that you still live in your parents' house, but you're about to move out. This is possible also with this combination. But anyway, people around you feel very safe. Then the anchor in the ship itself, if you would be planning on a journey, you will make sure that this journey is safe. This is what I'm seeing here also. It's also possible in a different way, that's then the opposite, that in some way you feel restrained from exploration. But actually this points to a port, somewhere, a marine area. So I'm thinking here we are more in that area. In a way also, if you are traveling, it's possible, I don't know if during this period it's already travel, this is that we travel by boat or by ship. This is possible also. If you do so, the vehicle in itself will be very solid. And here you literally see, you come in the place where you want to be, you moor here. It could be that the commuting is quite long. It's a long journey. And you will be happy if it finally comes to an end. Maybe this is your final destination. As we know, Sagittarius is a travel. Maybe you've been traveling already a lot in your life, and maybe because the anchor is here and the anchor wants to stay, it wants to put his foot down, it wants to become the bear territorial, it wants to stay where it is. This could be your final destination. Finally, you could be in the place where you want to be, if you would feel home there. In a way, we can also have this combination that some people don't want us to undertake this adventure, because this is an adventure. So some people might hold us back. As we saw earlier, it's possible you still live with certain people, and maybe these people try to hold you back from your adventure. But maybe this holding back thing is not so good. Here in the middle, here you see your ticket. This is your ticket. This is the letter, but the letter is a document with value. It's not like an email. It's a deed, a degree. It's a document that can be translated in money or something that brings action. So this is literally here, your document is ready to move on. But it's possible that some people try to restrain, and you are struggling a little bit to get loose of them. Anyway, in general, Sagittarius is an adventurer, and in some part of his life, he moves. There's a focus here on a search. You want to explore here also. you want to make some changes, you're very focused on this departure here. Then we come here in the second line, we have the tree and the letter. This is a very stable document. It's sure that the document is in your position. This document literally brings you in the stars. So this could mean, this then could be a travel document, but it brings us in the air. So this could be a travel document because the stars are the air. This is a positive change. The document is positive. Also, this means that could mean that some family members or some people that you are close to, in a way, they write you some message. There's some messages here from them. This is then a letter, but the message is about stability. It's about stability. So maybe you receive some message from people close to you that is related to some form of stability or some form of value. Maybe also you're waiting on some people who send you a message here. It's possible also before you leave, you do some checkup of your body, because this could also be related to the health. So it's possible you do some checkup with the doctor. If you do so, it might be positive. Maybe this is a test before we move here, because we have the snake here, and the snake sometimes represents poison. So now with this virus is going on, it's possible that the test is related to that. But anyway, here there's some health test. The result will be positive, but maybe in a way you need to do some tests, or you want to do some tests, some checkups before you leave yourself. You will receive some messages. We already saw here. These messages will not bring you stress. They will make you relaxed. Also, it's possible here that you talk about your ancestors, that you talk to the family, that you talk about your ancestors, that what they did, what you do, things like that. There's communication about that. It might be an important conversation. You will receive information, maybe about people who already passed away. But this information might be important, related to your travel in a way. And then we have the letter and the stars on itself. Sagittarius sometimes can be quite religious also. It's possible if you're a religious person that you pray, you use your praying book, whatever your religion is, or your spiritual guiding here. This is what we see here also. Also your forms, if you communicate, your forms of communication, you will try to improve them here. You will communicate, you will make sure if you travel that everything goes according to plan, because the bear is solid, the anchor is solid, so you will make sure that everything goes accordingly your organization. Then we have the third line here. We have the flowers and the garden. The flowers is the all lucky card of the deck. So this is a very positive card to have, meaning here there's a lot of opportunities here in social areas. It's easy for you to communicate. You will try to communicate better. If we saw there also, there's some fun here involved. It's possible that you want to enjoy yourself. Maybe there's some water involved, because we see water here, we see water there, and the ship is water also. So it's possible there's some swimming pools or some water involved here. Also, it's possible that you take a gamble. Sometimes some Sagittarius like to gamble, so there's some possibilities here on gambling also. But anyway, if you move in social circles, it will be very easy for you to move around there. You will dabble around in your networks. It's possible also, if you're looking for something in a newspaper, that you exactly find, or on the internet, that you exactly find the thing what you are looking for. This is possible also with this combination. Then we have the garden and the snake. it means that there is a very strong focus because the snake is focused. It's very focused. It wants to know. It keeps quiet. Also, it's a quiet, but it's very intelligent. The snake is a very smart card out of the deck. So it means that if you will move, you will move around in the public with some kind of smartness. There will be a calmness. You will not say everything that you know because the snake is calm. It's smart. You will keep yourself in the grass till it's your moment to talk. And this is also wisely because the snake urges us not to share everything. If you bring something in public and you need to share it, you will do it in a very diplomatic way because the snake is a very diplomatic card. Also possible here if you have fun. There's some alcohol involved here. This is possible also. There's a strong focus here. Maybe you want to be more in public because you want to be more in public, but it doesn't mean you will share everything in public. That's something differently. You might be working in front of an audience because the teacher works in front of an audience or the manager works in front of an audience, but it doesn't mean that he shares everything. It's possible that you are in the spotlight. If you are hobby-like connected to the public, it's possible also that you do something in like acting, that you are in the spotlight, movies, that you are actually in the public, that you are in the press, but it could mean hobby-like, for instance, or maybe your profession is connected. Maybe you're a teacher for actors. This is possible here also, or you teach people how to act. This is possible here also with this combination. Then we have the bear, the tree, and the clovers. As I said earlier, there's a possibility here that you gain weight. There's a healthy growth around you. It's possible also you have some people close to you that help you, like women that are already older. This could be that if you're a woman, there's some older women help you. If you're a man, also some people close to you are female that are helping you. These people might be there already for a long time. They are maybe strong. They have stable personalities. In another way, if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, it's possible that the person is more matured or older. This is possible also with this combination. It's like a protective type person who wants to protect you. Also, this points to progress in your work. You get a lot of chances, but these chances will come slow because these are slow cards. The bear is heavy, he moves slow, and the tree is slow growing. So you understand this is a slow process. There's a very strong form of creativity here going on. This person has natural competence. Maybe you have a lot of natural competences in your field of work. Also here, your sense of belonging somewhere as you maybe move on, as you may become more stable. You will get a more stronger sense of belonging. Then we have the tree and the clovers. If for some reason, because we saw the doctor's appointment here, if this is not related to tests, here, if you are a little bit on the weather, this points to very fast recovery because this is the lucky card of the deck. So if you have a little bit under the weather, this is only temporary. If they tell you there's a health problem, and you fear it's not going to be well, don't worry, because normally these two cards are very positive. It's possible also if you have a relationship with an older person, that this is a relationship without both actually having, it's like a free commitment here. Both people know their limitations, their borders, but still there is a relationship. It's like an LAT relationship, like a free relationship. And as I mentioned, the person could be older. This is possible also. Some things that have been in your life before might return to you. Even if you are in another place, some things in your life could return to you. Or you come in contact, we are in the other realm now, people who are not into that, I understand. It's possible also that some people who were in contact with you in previous lives come in contact with you again. And it's possible that immediately with these people, you feel a connection. This is possible here also. Both will feel that, both will feel stable with each other. You will feel well grounded. We already saw that. And there's a lot of luck here for getting on your feet here. Very easy to get on your feet. Then we have the anchor, the letter, and the garden. The anchor and the letter, there's a strong focus on communication. We already saw that what you're saying will be fixed. It will have weight, because the anchor have weight. What you express will have weight. It will have consequences. It will be written down. It will be noted. It will be appreciated by the public. This could also have to do with some form of office work, or you put plans down on paper here also. You probably made some schedules, and you will stick to certain time schedules that you have made. You will make daily notes of where you are and what you do. You will not share everything. We already saw that with the snake there. Then we go to the letter and the garden. This is that you receive an important message from friends or from certain groups that you are functioning in. It's like a public announcement, but your friends or the group where you are functioning in are sharing this news with you, and the news could be quite important. And the news is positive because we have the stars there. Also, some things that maybe that we get to know, that we have not shared before, we suddenly could bring them in public. If we feel it's the right time to communicate, then we suddenly could say something in public. We suddenly could speak up here. This is what we say here. You make something public. But a teacher, or of course, it couldn't be in that front also, because the teacher or a person who educates or a manager, he speaks. It could be that one also. But we see the things coming back here. I just see this. I just explained the several things that are possible here. Now, before I go any further, I didn't mention it, but I'm going to do it now. If you are in some form of relationship, any form, but it could be mean, because we saw here this is a free relationship. The snake always points to three parties. So if you are involved in some form of relationship, you can almost be sure that a third party is involved. So be aware of it. I don't see any love connections here, but if the snake is here, it's possible that one of you both is connected to another person. Since the relationship is free, it will not be dramatic, or it will not have any consequences if this is the case, but there is a freedom. And also the snake in itself, it has a form of freedom. Sometimes it wants to be free. So I want to mention this here, but we will see what we get later here. And then we have, excuse me, then we have the ship and the stars. This is that you're literally traveling to the stars. The journey that you undertake will bring you a lot of prosperity. Your investments will bring you prosperity, but you need to play it smart. You need to be quiet. You need to see if you want to make financial investments or you want to make something stable. You need to see that you have all information. Check all the documents, check the fine print, because with the snake here, we are urged to move slowly. And we have a lot of slow cards here. So if you want to make investments, you need to see that you have all facts. That is what the snake tells us here, but probably you will, because the snake makes us more smart. Anyway, coming back here to these two cards, as we saw earlier, there will be some fun involved on the water. This could literally mean a disco or a place of fun. It's going to be a fantastic journey. It's going to be very well if you travel. It's going to be good. You have certain visions. You want to embark on these visions. You want to make them come true. You will leave here. You will leave to follow your dreams, even though maybe some people disagree or want to hold you back. Also, it's possible here that you're thinking, if you're leaving, that you think about somebody you left behind here. This is possible here also, but you will in a way keep connected to this person in a way. Maybe it's not possible for now for be physically connected to that person, but there will stay contact. This person might not be physically there. Then we come in the last two cards. This is the stars and the snake. It's possible that the people, if you're in some kind of management or teaching position or in a leading position, that these people really see you as a leader, somebody they need to follow. This is what this card tells us. These two cards tells us also. Sometimes this points to a female leader. It's possible here that this is pointing to a woman. This is like, if you are in other professions, this could point to a spiritual leader, but I don't think this is the case here. It's sometimes Sagittarius is a quite spiritual or religious type of person also. So it's possible also in a way, in yourself, there's some kind of spirituality. You have the abilities also to work in the spiritual field here. Maybe sometimes there's a need for experiencing transcendence. Maybe in a way you don't share this with people, but for your own you work on it. Maybe this is not connected to your direct profession, but maybe in a way you do. You desire like an experience transcendence. Maybe you have some focus in that area also, but it's probably not public knowledge or you don't share it with others. If you would have some health issues, be careful here also that you are with the right doctors and that you get the right result. This is what this card tells us also. Then we have the bear, the letter, and the snake. This is financial news. This is money documents. These are bonds, obligations, anything that has to do with money. These are these two cards. These are financial administrative documents that represent value. Also, this could point that in the future, you could partner up with financial, very high placed or powerful people that are already long time placed, and they could be in abroad. This is possible here also. You could be partnering up with them. If this is about teaching, you will share the information. Maybe these people are teacher themselves, or they are higher placed in a form of teaching or of management. But these people, they share communication with you. There's a certain topic here that is talked about. It depends what is your field of work, but I would almost say the health is included here. Maybe you can communicate about health. insurances here also. The information that you will receive is important because the bear is important. It's expanding. It's powerful. The information it gives you, it will give you a sense of power that will come to you, because the snake is smart also. So you will receive information, and you will. It's important that you keep quiet about this information, and you keep it maybe under your head for now. Then we have the letter and the snake on itself. In some cases, you want to communicate your desires, but it's best, as I said, not to communicate everything. It's possible also, if you are in competition, if you would be in business, that you some messages from the competition are coming to you. Maybe they try to trick you, the competition. They try to mislead you with certain messages here. If you receive this information, it could have an important impact later on in your life. Maybe you can do something with that information later on, not now. These are also documents, could be documents that need to be shown related to your career. It's you literally showing your credentials here. If you have an opportunity to move up, probably in general cases, we need to bring the documents, of course. And if you have conversation with people in charge, higher place than you, this combination urges you to play it tactful. You need to be tactful, diplomatic. If you want this position, this is the way to play it. You need to respect the authority. You need to see that you have all the credentials, and especially you need to be tactful and smart. Then we have the ship, the letter, and the clovers. This is, as I said earlier, it's the travel document again. If you are in the travel business, it's possible also here. This come back also several times. This points to a trip, a letter from abroad. It's you going on a vacation, or you send people on a vacation, because Sagittarius is the traveler, the teachers. So that's why we always come in this area. It's possible also here, we saw this earlier, there's communication with somebody who is absent in abroad. This comes back here also. Maybe before you felt a long time that you could not settle down, but you have the opportunity here now. We see this coming back also. Travel document, we already mentioned that. This could mean also like more casual conversations. Maybe these are conversations with customers and you are the one in charge. These are lighter conversations. But if you sell some kind of product, or you need to sell yourself, as a salesman need to do, they need to sell their product, and first of all, they need to sell themselves. So if you do so, this will have a positive effect. You know what you're talking about, you're smart about it. You keep the conversations light here, not too heavy, but it will have a very positive end result. Sometimes this will come with a lot of responsibilities also, and maybe sometimes you would like that these responsibilities that are given to you or that you have are a little bit lighter. So Sagittarius for the air group, this is now. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. If this card playing don't fit you at all, please check the other 3 card readings that are connected here to the video. Anyway, see you next time, and thank you for watching. Bye bye for now. Thank you. Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to the Stone Group or the Earth Group for your card reading for September 2021. Before we start, I mentioned it in each group. Mercury is starting retrograde 27 September. This goes to 18 of October. It's not a good time then to sign contracts, agreements, anything where you need to put your name under that is official. It's not a good idea to do so. Excuse me. Afterwards, if you do so, things tend to go wrong. You want to get out of the contract. You don't agree with the conditions anymore. You didn't read the fine print very well. These are all things that are connected to Mercury retrograde. Also, you will see the traffic. There's traffic jams. The traffic is too late. Your train is too late. Your bus is too late. Your plane, your flight is delayed. Your flight is cancelled. Things are all connected to Mercury retrograde, and in this period it's more excessive. Also during this period, it's not a good time to buy electronics like cell phones, computers, also household equipment like laundry machines, microwaves. Why? Because these are in their turn connected to the warranties, and sometimes things pop up with the warranties. So anyway, the general idea here is to try to avoid to sign any form of contract. If, however, for some reason you're obligated to do so, double, triple check the fine print, because it might be later on there come some problems to you. Anyway, here we proceed now, Sagittarius, for the Stone Group with your first card. Here, this is your personal card. So this is the Coffin. The Coffin is a very serious card. It's the card of psychology. It's a card of that we gain a lot of psychological knowledge, that we have an overview over people, that we know how, that we have a lot of knowledge about people. It's also possible here with this card that we are in a transformation. Our body is transforming. It means there is a psychological transformation going on in us. There's an end of something, but all ends come with new beginnings. So it means something in your life is changing irreversible. You will never go back to the way you were before, because the changes, this is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is the god of the underworld. When he comes, he changes something irreversible. So you will never go back as it was before. This could, it's not always negative. Sometimes these changes, they are not necessarily easy, but they could have very positive results. Then we go with the lane here. We have the coffin and the dog. This represents a therapist. Maybe you are in your profession, you are or professionally engaged in some form of therapy. It's possible also some colleagues from you, if you work with people with you, they are not in good health for now. Maybe they have some health issues. This is what we see here also. And it's possible that you communicate with your colleagues, or maybe you communicate with your patients. This is possible here also about their health condition. So this is possible if you are a therapist or somebody who guides people here, because this is the guide. People follow you here. They follow your ideas. You can transform them. So if you are in that field of area, it's possible here that you have a lot of communications about the working front about this. It's possible also here if you have a pet, that your pet is not that is feeling a little bit under the weather also. Maybe there's something wrong with the pet here also. They are not doing so well. Here that we see we help others. Also here the dogs give permission. So it's possible that you give others the permission to end something, or others are giving you permission to end something. It's probably related to something of communication or something that moves. We will see later on in the lane where this is going. Then we have the dog and the birds in itself. you follow the communication of others, or others follow your communication. It's possible that a friend or some people that are around you, they have worries, they are a little bit sad, and it's possible that you are the friend or somebody who brings them some kind of support. You try to help them the best you can. If you have a dog, this could literally mean that you have a hunting dog. There's a lot of communication here with your friends. If you have a pet, he can be quite noisy if he's in good condition, that is. If your pet recently passed away, it's possible that you're looking on social media for another pet and you exactly find what you are looking for. It also could mean some nervosity here on your person. I want to go later into this, but I'm going into it now. Because I see the birds here also in relationship front, because we have the ring here and the ring is about relationship. And here, this is a couple that is living together. So I'm assuming here, or I'm thinking here, if you have some form of relationship, this relationship that you have is seriously transforming and it's irreversibly changing. So there's some changes in the relationship. It's possible also you ended a relationship recently. If not, there's some serious changes going on in this relationship. A person who followed before, or you followed them before, this is not going to happen anymore. There's like people who don't follow anymore, you don't follow anymore, or they don't follow anymore. So this is what I see here. Also, I want to mention this already because I see it here now. Then here, they're possible also that some people, there's some gossip with people in your environment. Some people gossip. Maybe some people gossip about loyalty in the relationship here. There's some gossip about that. But towards friends here, there's a kindness towards friends. We already saw that here. It's possible also this is your brother. Maybe you have a brother who have health issues, or a sister. You are kind to them if this is the case. Here, this is, then we have here, sometimes also this could mean that we hide messages, or people are hiding messages from us, because what is in the coffin stays in the coffin. So it's possible, but I don't see the snake or the fox here, but it's possible that something is going on. Maybe you're suspicious about some cheating going on in the relationship, because I told you the relationship is changing. Maybe some messages get known to you about cheating. And this is what I see here, here in these cards. Maybe you discovered some telephone messages on the cell phone or on the smartphone, something like this. Here this also points, but it's a total different point of view. If you are into restaurants and food, it's possible. If you just walk on the street, you have a very good nose, because the dog has a very good nose for restaurants and places for amusement, that you can pick out with your sixth sense for places who have serve good foods or are very entertaining. Then we come in the second horizontal line here. We have the ring and the stork. This means this is the relationship, and the stork is the bird of changes. There's a transformation. We saw the transformation there already. Here there's a transformation going on, and we already know that the transformation is irreversible. The bird is also the bird of travel. So in a way, there's something going on. There's some moving going on here. In some cases, this is a contract, this is a pregnancy, and the moon is related to fertility. So this could be related to a pregnancy if you're a woman, or it could be a relationship to a new adventure or a new project, a creative project, because the moon is creative, it's pregnancy, it's creativity, it's our mind, it's the way our mind works. There's an easy access here, a smoothness for being very creative. It's like your form of creativity here is changing, and you have some kind of contract on it with yourself. If not so, this is like you have a commitment on your pregnancy. It's in the creative field or it's in the pregnancy field. But in both cases, you will be very committed. You have decided about that to do so. It's possible these creative projects that you are involved in, they are not totally unfamiliar to you. Maybe the territory where you come in, it's familiar territory, because the stork is always returning and the ring is round. So it's possible that in these projects that you are not totally unfamiliar with them in this form of creativity. It's possible also that if you are an independent person, you work in your home. If not, if the business is very important for you, the place where you work, it's very important for you, and you're allowed to be creative there. There's a lot of communication here over the creativity. I know I'm ahead of things, but I just want to mention this here. But there's a lot of forms of creativity here. If you have your own business, it means that you are creative on yourself, and there's a new project that you are about to embark in, but the territory that you're going in is not totally unfamiliar for you. We stick back to the first two cards here now. Here, this could represent parenthood, as we saw, or responsibilities for a child. There are contracts here going on, maybe contracts related to creativity. Actually, this is a pregnant couple, but we saw that the relationship is already transforming, but this is a pregnant couple. We always are both pregnant. We are waiting both on the child. We are both waiting sometimes we both waiting on changes, creativity. There are a lot of things here. There are promises made. This also means sticking together, but in a way there's a stickiness together. Maybe this is a pregnancy and the couple has parted, but they stick together because of the child. This is possible here also. There's a reconnection form here. It comes back, as I told you. The transformances here that are gonna happen are, you know what is gonna happen. It's predictable. You know what is gonna happen. But in a way, there's also a necessity here for some forms of reorientation. If this applies on you, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Then we have the stork. The stork and the moon itself. There's a strong desire here. You want to change emotionally. This is a lot of creativity going on in your mind. Also, you are in touch with the softer things of your mind. There's a metamorphosis going on here. Excuse me. Your mind is very creative. You have access to creative sides of your mind here. That is what we see here also. Sometimes this creativity, it can come, maybe I just want to mention this here. It's possible that this creativity that you have now, you search some of that creativity out of the darker side of your childhood. Some of these creative things that you have are come out the darker side possibly of your childhood. some things will come unconsciously to you. Here, this is like the moon and the intuition are relevant with each other. They are connected. Then we have the woman, the child, and the house. This could literally represent a woman has her child in her house. Sometimes the cards are very simple. They are sometimes very easy things to read here. This is literally a woman with a child in her house. So it's important for this woman. She has a child in her house. If she's pregnant, possibly the child come to her house, or maybe she has already a child in her house. This is possible, but the house is very important. It's an important part of our life. It's possible also that the child is somehow connected to her house. The child is in her house. Mostly the child is connected to the house, but the child is connected here in a different way. It's like the child belongs in the house. Well, let's say it like that. The child might be still younger here. If you are in an advanced age already, this could represent your grandchild. Then we have also the woman takes responsibility for the child. She has the contract here. She has the contract here. She takes responsibility. It will change her life. It will change her point of view. Also, it will change the things in her house. Of course, it does. Then here, maybe there's more as one child. I said it. This would represent then the youngest child. Since there are some moving, we have the stork there. It's possible also that you move house. You move house because of that your familial condition is changed. Maybe you are planning to buy a house. If you do so, I see here also, this is what the card says here, that you will feel more comfortable in this new place. It's possible also here that you start to build your own house. This is possible also. And also there are some bodily changes here. Your body is changing. If you're pregnant, of course, your body is changing. If you're not pregnant anymore, maybe you apply some changes in your body. Maybe you work out more. Maybe you eat more healthy. This is possible here also. You will grow more in your role as a parent. This is what we see here also. The upbringing of the child here, you could do that in a very traditional way. You bound to the rules that you are raised in. Then we have the coffin, the ring, and the woman. Here we already mentioned this. There's a transformation in the relationship here. There's an end, maybe a transformation. If you are a man, a woman disappears out of your life. If you are a woman, some changes on your relationship will change irreversibly. There's a new beginning also, as I said. After the end, there's something new. The coffin is never final. Well, physically it can be final, but it's never final. There's always coming changes out of it. Of course, we all die. That is not the issue here, but the changes that are mentioned here is transformation. It's not a physical end. You end the connection, you end the commitment, you lose a connection, the link is broken. Also, there might be some grief about this situation. It's normal if we end the relationship. There's some sadness here. This is possible also. But eventually, we will decide to let it go. But we let the thing go that causes pain. Then we have the ring in the woman also. This represents a married woman. If your relationship is ended, it's possible that you engage yourself as a married woman. Maybe you're still married, but you engage with another party. If you are a man, it's possible that you engage yourself with a married woman. Maybe she's still married officially, but she's already single. She's in a state of transformation. Um, this could point to a possible relationship that stays on the long run. It's possible also, since we have the stork and the ring, I mentioned this before, this is return. It's possible that this woman is not unfamiliar to you. Since you have the ring and the stork, it's like she's returning to you. So I'm assuming here you know this person. If a new person comes in her life, this person will not be unfamiliar to you. So it's like she comes back to you from the past, and she might have a child. We already saw that. Maybe in a way we were always committed to her, in a way. There's a lot of culture here. This person has a lot of this creativity here, but also there's a lot of cultural knowledge, maybe knowing of several cultures. Sometimes Sagittarius is well traveled, or he has a lot of information out of books. This is a lot of cultural knowledge that we see here. And then we go to the dog, the stork. These are changes of, the dog is loyal, and the stork is the bird of changes. So this is changes, we change our loyalties. There's a transformation. If we have friends, it's possible that new friends come in our lives, or the friendship in itself, it evolves in a different stage. But mostly because the child is here, these are new friendships that come into us. We start a friendship. Maybe this is a relationship that comes out of friendship. This is possible also. So we knew this person already before. This is what I said before. This is also possible with the dog. A friend returns to us, and we pick up the relationship again with a friend, or we pick up the relationship, and the relationship turns into the friendship turns into a relationship. But this is like a friend who returns. You yearn, you long for a certain relationship, because the stork can make yearnness for something. Here we transform. If there's a pregnancy involved, of course it transforms us. There's no doubt about that. There's a transforming because of but it also it changes us mentally. If you are about to raise a child, this will be a very transforming experience for you. This is what we see here. We see the parental instinct here. There's a new process going on. This will bring you in another process. You transform because of it. But maybe the transformations, you can handle them. Some people are easy to adjust. So there will be a lot of transformation, but you will be able to adjust to these new positions, or these new transformations, job-like or familiar-like. Then we have the birds, the moon, and the house. There's a lot of communication about our work. There's a lot of communication about our hobbies, we communicate a lot what is in our mind, because this is the moon, is the mind. We talk a lot about it, and probably we make it fixed in our workplace or in our house, or our colleagues are part of this creative process. This is what we see here also. There's a lot of emotionality involved here. and some moments are emotions. Sometimes if we create something, we are very emotional about it. So sometimes when we create something, our emotions are all over the place because the birds jump around. So the emotions could be all over the place. We could feel a little bit restless. Sometimes maybe even we can talk to ourselves. We talk to ourselves as we create, because sometimes creativity, it requires being alone. So we talk to ourselves, we talk to our mind. Then we have the moon and the house here. If there would be a moving involved, in a way, you will adjust to these changes. That is not the issue here, but in a way, it's possible that you feel a little bit homesick here. This is possible, but this is probably just at the start. Also, this points to a very strong psychological connection with the family. We are strongly connected with our family. It's possible also that our family, some of our family members have a strong psychic connection or a strong artistic connection. This is possible also because this points to roots, the place where we come from, but this could mean the generations before, literally our DNA. So it's possible here that our family, it has, in some cases, this is the other realm then, that our family members have psychic abilities. They can see in the future, literally. Sometimes Sagittarius is also pointed to as a person who has the seers from before. So it's possible in the family there were some seers, but it's the other realm. If it don't apply, you understand. But I'm just mentioning it here. This also points on very communicative nights. We talk a lot at nights. We try to keep to the rules for sleeping, but maybe sometimes we are restless and it don't work out. We want to keep to a structure for sleeping, but maybe we cannot. We try to find rest, but maybe we are too creative to find the rest. Also, you're very familiar with, you feel familiar and comfortable according to your own intuition. This is what we see here also. Then we have the coffin, the stork, and the house. Here, this points that the transformation will end. So if you are in transforming stages, it will end. And the transformation will lead to more stability because the house is stable. It's something solid. So this is what we see here. This is the first impression. Also here, this could mean that we are released from something maybe that hooked us before or that kept us down. We will be released from that. You will put an end to it. The transformation is ending. We can do nothing about it because this is a natural transformation. Then we have the stork and the house in itself. It's possible if we change house, but it's possible if we don't change house, we do some changes in our house, and these changes would be maybe it's small changes, or maybe the changes are related to the child. It's not that you're going to turn the place down, but maybe there are some small changes you need to adjust for the child, or the changes are related to your creativity, to your profession, and you change some things. Maybe you work at home and you rearrange the place so it's more comfortable for you to work. Maybe it's an art studio that you add, or you transform a room in an art studio. This is possible, a place where we can be creative. This is that your family life is transforming. Then we have the birds, the stork, and the woman. Sometimes if there are changes coming in your life, pregnant or not, or creative or not, it can bring you certain stress. It can bring you certain worries. But anyway, this combination is very fruitful. It bears fruits, this relationship. You need to follow your instincts here. Also, maybe there's a lot of communication with women about the transformation that you are undergoing. Maybe if you are pregnant, you talk to other pregnant women. This could be a logical idea here also. If not, you will talk a lot about your creativity. It's possible that you change the way you communicate or the topics that you are communicating about. It's like many things change at one time, because we have the storks here, and this is 2 times birds, so there's a lot of changes going on. Can be a little bit hectic sometimes. It's possible here also with these combinations that for you this changes in a positive way, but somebody else sees it as quite hectic. Maybe it's somebody close to you. If we have a certain problem that bothering us for a long time, it's possible that a certain problem in our life that we have, you will know what I'm talking about, is always returning, because we have 2 times return here. This combination tells you need to solve the root of the problem. So this is mentioned. If you will know if it applies on you, what I'm talking about. Then we have the stork and the woman in itself. This is a person who's going through under changes. She changes. She needs to be flexible. She's literally migrating, but I don't see too much travel here, but she's changing, but this could also be migrating. She follow her instincts here, the person. If you are a man, it's possible also for you, then the migration would be possible, because actually this is a neutral card, but I didn't mention it earlier. Also, there's a possibility here. We saw that earlier. There's a reconnection with certain persons in our life, and this could lead to a relationship. We saw that earlier. There's a lot of reconnections here. A lot of things coming back out of our past, and even though there's a lot of changes going on, there's a lot of reconnections with the past. That is what we see here. So, Sagittarius, for the stone group, this is all for now. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. If this card reading don't fit you at all, check out the other 3 card readings here also connected to this video. Thank you for watching, and see you maybe next time. Bye-bye for now. Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to the Fire or the Matches group. Before we start, I want to mention that Mercury is running retrograde starting 27th of September. This is a period going to 18th of October. At that time, it's not wise to sign contracts, agreements, anything you need to put your name under any documents, an official document or whatever document. It's not a good time to do so. Also, you will see at that time your train has delayed, a bus is late, you're coming late at places, people are coming too late to your place, packages that need to arrive in your home go in the wrong destination. These are all things that are connected to Mercury running retrograde. Also, this time it's not a good idea to buy new house equipment, new cell phones. Why? Because these things are connected to warranties, and sometimes a problem with the warranties is popping up. So, but the general idea here is that you don't sign any agreements or any contracts. It will avoid you that you change your mind or there's something wrong with the contract. But if for some reason you feel compelled to sign a contract, double, triple check all the fine print so you don't have problems afterwards. But you know what I have said here, so it's better not to do so. Anyway, we continue now with the fire group. The first card we see here is the card, is the whip. It's a very energetic card this here. Sometimes it's also a punitive card, but it means probably now you have a lot of energy, or in some way you feel punished. It's possible also this is related to your health. Maybe you have some health issues for the moment. It's not clear what this health issue is. Maybe it's yet unclear and it's yet to be determined. It could be something that is going on already for a while because the tree is there. So we need to take care of this, but maybe it goes on for a while. But since you have the fish here, it's possible that this problem is solved. Now we do the cards now by couple. Here we have the whip and the tree. So it's possible also, if it's not a health issue, it could be that a certain conflict in your life, you are unable to let that go. Some kind of trauma that caused you any problems. It keeps into negotiation state, or there's a lot of communication here also about a stable job. This is possible also. If this is related to the job, this is a stable job where we need to do a lot of efforts. These efforts are stable. It's possible a lot of energy is required for doing that job since we have the whip here. If you are in negotiation professions that involve money, because the stork is here and the money is here, this is the fish is money and business. It's possible also that you have communications, negotiations, very strong negotiations about some form of stability or some form that need to change in your work related to something that needs to be negotiated. It's like it needs to become more stable. You want it to become more stable. And you need to negotiate very hard because money is involved. Excuse me. And also it has something to do that has to be made public. But we will see later on where we are going with this. So it's possible also this is a negotiation that are going on for a long time. Conferences are connected to. If you are not under the weather or you feel quite well, it's possible also that you do a lot of sport activities. Now you're very active in your body. In some cases, this is another point of view I want to touch here also. If you are feeling on the other side very healthy, it's possible here that we have a certain partner where we have a lot of interaction with, even intercourse with, or there's a lot of sexual activity going on here. This is possible here also. If this is on your work front, it's also possible that there are some discussions on the work front, not necessarily with colleagues, but because we don't have the dog here, but it's possible there are some form of negotiations going on in your work because the fox is the card of the work. It's possible this is a conflicting situation. And in the end, it's possible that you make amends. Maybe this is a little bit a difficult month. Maybe you are a little bit stressed or there are some changes in your work going on. This is possible that the work is very heavy and there is some stress going on. The hardness of the work causes you stress, and this makes you a little bit shortcutted. Like you don't want, you are on a short, you have a short fuse, let's say like that. Here, then we see the anchor and the fox on itself. Here we want to secure ourselves. We want to secure on our own identity. We also need to focus on our self-interests here. So if you have negotiations in your job, it's best to keep focused because this is probably about your self-interest. So you need to negotiate till you are in the position that you want to be, because this is probably about yourself. This points also to maybe to a long-term job. I don't see immediately an application here, but there's a lot of negotiations going on here. It's possible also that in your job, you are confronted with competitors, and that's why you are a little bit nervous. You need to try to beat the competition, as they say. If you would to be in a sports profession professionally, this points also to that you need to beat the competition. If this is about a relationship, I want to go immediately there, but later on we will go into more details. The fox is always half-hearted in relationships. So if you have some form of relationship, probably somebody close to you is not with the whole of his heart in this relationship. There's some changes coming because we have the stork there, the birds of changes, and probably a lot of changes because we have the fish here, and the fish multiply things. The second thing that we see here is the snake. If we see the snake appearing, and it's about relationship, means there are always third parties involved. Meaning, if you are in a relationship, there's a very big chance here that your partner is involved in another relationship. This is possible here. I'm not saying it's like this, but this is what is pointed out here in the card. I'm just reading here what is in the cards. But anyway, in this relationship, there's a lot of changes coming. Also a change of stability, possibly also a change of partners. But we will continue reading the rest here now. Also here, I want to mention here, you need to secure yourself here. You need to take safety precautions related to things that are close to you, to things that are rooted to you, where you are rooted in. So maybe your house or things that are very close to you, you need to secure them. You need to take safety precautions. Even if it's difficult to take, you need to take them because we never know what is happening. Then the next line we have here, it's the clouds and the storks. It's possible that this whole situation of change negotiation that we are involved in, it makes us think a lot. We need to think about a lot about, and probably we think about how to get this deal done. Because this is the money, probably there's a deal involved in the negotiations here. We're thinking about how to implement some changes so we can get the money that we are focused on, because the snake can be very focused on the work front and the fox is the work. So there's probably a strong focus here on that area. Probably you feel that the negotiations can go all ways. All the directions are still possible. That's why you need to keep a strong focus. You have the snake here, you can, and if you have competitors, the secret here is keeping focused. You need to focus. And then you have a possibility that this is something in public, maybe the contract has something to do with public. So then it's possible that you get the deal in. There's possible also that you have some misunderstandings here. Maybe you during these changes, there's some things that are changing, but you misinterpret them, or you cannot see clear how it is exactly connected. This is what we see here also. Here also, if you have your own business or if you work for somebody, it's gonna change the way you think about your employment, or you're thinking about changing the way you do business. This is what probably the thinking is about. You think about the changes in profession or the change related to your business, but all is connected here to the money for making more money that comes out of public. You change your point of view on the whole economical situations. So this whole business or this whole work that you are involved is slowly, because the tree is slowly changing. So this is what we have here. Also, it's possible that with this transformation, this has a certain value for you. You will find a value in it, something that gives you a value. It's like a natural circle here that is going, and eventually probably you will make great profits out of this process of negotiations, waiting, not knowing where you go. Eventually, it's possible that you make profits out of it, out of this thing. Something here will happen that will trigger a big transformation in you as a person on the business front or on the work front. Then we go here in the third line, we have the flowers here. This is the snake. And this is the garden. Here we see if your competitor would be a woman, probably this woman is quite handsome. She's very attractive. She knows how to smooth people. If this is your competition, if that would represent your competitor. If this is not your competitor and it's related to you, this could mean that the best way also to negotiate here is be diplomatic. If you want these negotiations to succeed, you need to be diplomatic. You need to use all your charms that you have, especially if you're in public. If you are talking in a group, you need to be diplomatic. Don't go into certain details. Don't be harsh. Don't go immediately into discussion. Be diplomatic. Be like a negotiator. Wait till the other one comes out, and then you can see how far you can go. Here, this lane tells you you need to be very diplomatic here in your negotiations, especially if you are in bigger groups and if there's a lot of people around you, you need to be smart. Don't let yourself seduce to some details for going in. Just see the bigger picture here. Here, this combination. Here also, I forgot about this here. I want to mention here also, this is possible also that you have the ability to transfer certain monies here. This is possible here also. So we go to the third line here. Here, if people see you in a negative light, the bouquet has the ability, the flowers here, the bouquet, have the abilities here to break certain spells. So if you, even if you wait, people will not see you as so tricky. They will, it's like they feel that you hold your last card in your hand, or you still have something to negotiate with. So they will not see it like they are threatened. They know there's still something there. So this is also part of this game here if you need to negotiate. Here, actually, if you need to get a contract in or business, this is a very good combination to flatter people. You will know how to flatter them. You know how to get them on your hand. This is a good combination for that. If this is on partnership, now this is another point of view. If this is on partnership, we need to be careful with our partner here. I already told you this is a triangle relationship going on. The snake, in a way, it has a freedom. It wants to be free. And here we have the garden, and the garden is public. So you already hear me coming. It's like this person don't really want to be committed. Maybe there is a sexual aspect into it, but this person don't really want to commit. There's a strong freedom here. There's a strong freedom here. Here also, this person, probably this person is demanding on the attention front. This person demands attention. In another way, if you're an artistic type of person, this could mean that that you are somehow involved in public art. Maybe you like public art, and there's a focus there somewhere on the public art. If you're a woman, I want to mention this also. It's possible that if you are in contact with certain man, or if you are a man and you're in contact with certain woman, that you're literally get an invitation here for having intercourse with a problem, or it comes that way. Probably due to good looks, because the flowers make us look handsome, attractive, and the snake has some mystique around it. So this is possible here also with this combination. Also, it's possible that for these negotiations, we need to look our best. We need to look our best for getting this deal around. This is important here also. If we appear in public, we need to see that we are looking good. It's possible here also that you need to take for getting where you want to be, that you need to make a detour, that you need to, because the snake goes around. So it's possible here that you need to make a detour, because else if you go straight to the point and if you are too direct, I already told you here, you need to hold your tongue a little bit and you need to be smart in the negotiation. It's possible if you go in direct that it turns away from you. So you need to be smart and let the other parties also come enough to you. So you need to find the balance here. There's a strong focus here on your business here, a strong focus on the public life. It might be even very important for you that you are in public, that you are seen. I would almost say it's like a politician here. You want to be seen. Maybe you have ambitions to grow into somebody famous, somebody who is in public, and there's a strong focus on that. Then we have the verticals here. We have the whip, the clouds, and the bouquet. As I said earlier, there might be a form here of difficulties, and we cannot see clear the difficulties that are going on. If this is about the relationship with the partner, we cannot see clearly because the clouds are here. Even though we think about it, we cannot see how everything is connected. There's like a mystery going on here because the clouds are mist. We cannot see through the clouds. And because you cannot see what is actually going on with this person that is close to you or that you are in a relationship, it's possible that you have some suffering because of that, because you cannot tax the situation, as they say here. It's like our mind is like working a little bit slower here. Also, this points to if we have certain think patterns about business or about a certain person, that we need to evaluate if these thinking patterns are still helping us in the right way. If you notice of yourself that you are stuck in some old ways of thinking, maybe it's time to polish them up, because the flowers polish things up. So it's like you make them clean. So you need to think if this applies on you here. Maybe you need to think maybe you need to change. You need to think about breaking your thinking pattern. Maybe if you don't, you get stuck. Here, I told you earlier, you need to see you don't come in certain misunderstandings, because this could cause a conflict, but you have the flowers here. Even if you have a conflict here, you can still solve it by diplomacy. I told you diplomacy is very important here. You have then the clouds and the bouquet on itself. If people are around us, we need to be careful that we are sure that everybody is honest with us, because this is what this sometimes means also, that our social circle, the social circle where we are functioning in, is totally honest to us. So sometimes we need to get, maybe it's things are not as they seem. Also, it's possible that people give you false compliment. They fake the compliments for getting something from you. This is possible here also. Then we have the tree and the stork. The tree and the stork is that I told you these changes that will be coming to you will have a positive effect on you. They might come a little bit on the slow side because the tree is slow, but I think here there is a very strong focus on where you want to go. You want to become really stable here, because the snake can focus really strong on certain fields of life. So if you want to become more stable, you have the ability here, you have the means to change. It's possible also that everything goes a little bit slow, maybe slower than you expected. This is possible. It's possible that this process is set, but maybe everything is not finished by the end of the month. There could be some complications, even though you expect things are working out, you worked out everything well, still there is a possibility here that something pops up that you need to solve in some way here. This is what we have here also. Just see that if you have competition, that you are not in a way manipulated by the competition. This is what we see here also. Just see that you make your bed, that you are up where your competitor is also. See, you upgrade yourself so you have all the facts. You need to be wise here. You need to be intelligent. You need to keep your objectives here. It's possible that this competitor is a woman. These people might not be totally honest with you. Again, here, this is the same combination as I said to you with Mercury retrograde here. You need to check the small print of the contracts here with this one. If you are in negotiations, double check the contract. If you're not familiar with contracts, let somebody help you to double check this contract here. Because if you don't, it could have severe consequences, maybe financial consequences. So see that you do, see that you are not double crossed here if you are in certain negotiations. If you are in a relationship, then I told you also, you need to also be careful here for double crossing. Maybe you cannot see everything what is going on here. Maybe this person, he has a hidden side, maybe a darker side. So we need to be careful here with that also. We need to be prudent here, take precautions in the way that we are moving. Sometimes it's best to keep quiet because the snake keeps us quiet until the right moment is we strike. But be aware that your competitors are close to you if you are in negotiations. Then we have here, it's possible also with this combination that you are, if you are in a certain partnership, it's possible that this second lover of the other party, let's assume this is your partner, and they are involved with another partner. This is the type of person that uses all the tricks in the book, or he uses all the tricks in the book to get where they want to be. If they finally get the person to the other side to agree, they decline. Because the purpose is here not to win the person over, but to keep control. So this is like that also. We can see this one here also. It's like this person has problems with attaching. There's some attachment problem here. So then we, okay, natural cycle, yeah, natural cycles also going on here. It's possible also that this person is quite gracious also. This person know how to present itself. If you have also what could make you progress in the negotiation, if you have certain dreams, I know it's a little bit far-fetched, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's possible if you examine some dreams that you have, that you come to a certain conclusion that can help you. You need to be intelligent here. You need to use your witness. You need to use all the means at your disposal here. If your mind is very clouded, if you are very tired of these negotiations, what could help you is walk around a little bit. Walk around, take a walk outside. It could help you even if you don't feel like it. Then we have the fox, the fish, and the garden. The fox and the fish, it means that we want to earn more money on our job, or we get more work. We get more work, and this work could be related to the public. Maybe more people are coming to us and we have more work. And that could maybe the stress factor that we saw earlier. This represents also a well-paid job, but it doesn't mean it is not stressful. Be careful that everything is clear here, that you are not intertwined without your knowledge in some schemes. It points also to self-employment if you have plans that way. It's your own business. This could mean this also. Maybe through certain economical conditions, maybe connected to the virus that we have now, you have needed to adjust in your work or in your business. This could also point to this. Here, I mentioned this earlier. If you would like to, this comes back here again. If you would agree to it, there's a possibility here that you feel a certain attraction, sexual attraction to possible to a certain colleague or a certain co-worker or somebody in your business. This is possible here also. If you want to do that, this is possible here also with this combination. The rest here is like we move around in society a lot here. It's possible also that some of our friends are quite wealthy. Maybe in some way they help us in our business. It's like a fundraising year. This is possible also. If you have a job, it's also possible that you, in a way, you are related to public money. This is possible here also with this combination. There's a lot of publicity going on here. You have a high value of your own reputation here. It's possible also that during this negotiations that you have, you need to represent yourself as you are wealthy. Even if you are not in a certain level, it's required that you have a certain level, that you present yourself in a certain level. If you have a team around you that works for you for getting this deal done, you will have profit from their work. Then we have the cross, the whip, the stork, and the garden. This again, it means to changes. The changes are difficult that we have here. You want to transform yourself. There's a job change here possible. We already mentioned that it's possible to change jobs if you want to. It's possible here that you go your own way, despite what do others say, that you do what you want. You don't really care. You just want to have this transformation and you want to take care of yourself. This is what we see here also, with this combination here. You will be cautious, and you need to be also, you also need to do carefully risk assessment, because the fox is a very careful card. It operates between dusk and dawn. So it's not always clear. So you need to operate between dusk and dawn and see that you have all information, all the resources here. We always come back in the same field here. Also, if there is a transformation going on, don't try to hold it, because you will probably be unable to do so. This is necessary, but the transformation will have positive consequences. It's like it's a positive thing for you. It's like a necessary change. Then we have the stork and the bouquet on itself. If you have a certain social circle, maybe due to job or business changes, it's possible that your social circle is changing. It's possible that these new social circles that you are involved in or engaged with, this is like it has a positive effect. It's like it's like a happy fresh start, a change of color here, a change of environments. Also, if you had rather traditional values, it's possible that some values that you had in your life, that they are changing. You see things in a different way. Also here, this gives you in form of if you negotiate, this gives you very good negotiating abilities. It's possible that somebody who was related to our work before is returning to us, because the stork makes things return. So probably a co-worker where you work before is returning to you, or you return to some forms of your work where you have formerly been engaged in. However, this is all gonna work positive out well. It's like a positive return of yourself or a person that you were once engaged with as a colleague in your work or job like. Here, if there is also with this combination here, maybe at the moment now you feel a strong attraction to people who look attractive. And maybe that's why also you want to make yourself maybe this new social circle where you are functioning in. All these people there are fairly well dressed, and you feel good in that new environment. You feel like attracted here to prettiness, to things that are beautiful, to things that are easy. Here, this is what we see with this combination also. Sagittarius, for the month of September, for the fire group, this is all. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other 3 card readings. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching and see you maybe next time. Bye-bye for now and thank you.